Hey, what's happening, guys? Welcome to this week's 10-minute training. This week and the following, we are going to be going over our white wines and what is on our list. Really just honing down on what is there and what the different wines mean, as well as what they go with on our menu. Before we get into that, though, I wanted to let you guys know that February 6th, so not this Friday, but the following Friday, is our Mexicali fundraiser dinner that we've been doing for the last 5 years. Last year, with your guys' help, we raised $68,000, which was just incredible. This year, our goal is $100,000. So if you guys can help out with that and volunteer your time, again, the base of this has always been bridging the gap between Zocalo and its staff and Mexico. This is the vehicle to do that. If you can make it out to that, volunteering starts at 4 o'clock at Morgan Creek Golf Club in Roseville. I'll get the directions out to you guys. The event starts at 6, so we're really looking for your guys' help to make an incredible event. So let's go ahead and get into our training for the week. So the first thing we wanted to talk about and clear up is the way and the style that you should be drinking your wines, kind of the order in which wines you're drinking. Now, these are not exact, absolute, have-to-follow rules, but there is a reason why you should drink in a certain order, and it's because you want to kind of conserve your palate so it can really understand the nuances of each wine. One of the easiest ones is typically you're always going to see that you drink whites before reds. Dry before sweet. Sweet can kind of overpower your palate. And then you're looking for lighter body to heavier body, as well as younger wines before older wines. If you look at our menu, you see that we start out with our Pinot Grigio, then fall into our Sauv Blanc, and then we have 3 Chardonnays. But even there, all Chardonnays are not tasted the same. Really what is going to make a huge difference is its fermentation process, how much oak's in there, how much extra flavor. Even if you take it to our world, tequila world, the more you age something, the more flavor it gets from that barrel, which is going to give a more depth of flavor in the wine. So let's go ahead and start out with our Montevina Pinot Grigio. So Pinot Grigio is the varietal. So if you ever hear the word varietal, that basically just means the style or type of wine that we have. So the next thing that we'll look at is vintage. Here, the vintage for this Montevina is 2013. Vintage basically means the harvest year of the grape that's in this bottle. So the grapes that were picked and used for this wine were harvested in 2013. Now, the appellation means where did the grapes come from? Here, the appellation of this Montevina is California, which means that they could have used grapes from Napa, they could have used them from Clarksburg, they could have used them from anywhere in California, and that's why they have to use such a broad description for its appellation. A lot of times, winemakers will specify a certain farm that all grape or ranch that all grapes come from, and then they'll get very specific in their appellation. But if they don't have a certain percentage of the grape coming from that area, then they have to get broader with their name. The final thing that we'll talk about is tasting notes, and Montevina describes their Pinot Grigio as ripe pears, summer peaches, lotus blossoms, and being a very crisp, something that would be perfect for starting out your meal with. The next white wine we have on our list is the Bogo Sauvignon Blanc. The vintage here is 2013, and its appellation as well is California. So even though they're neighbors of ours right down the river in the town of Clarksburg, since they harvest grapes to make this wine in different areas of California, their appellation is California. Tasting notes here, and by the way, this is one of my most favorite go-to drinkable wines. It's just awesome, acidic, and goes with so many Mexican flavors. But anyways, citrus, they even use the word mowed grass. So obviously you're not eating mowed grass, but that kind of smell that it gives your mind to go with the flavor profiles, lemongrass and asparagus. Again, they're using the word crisp finish here, which means it's something that is going to be acidic and is another great way to start a meal and not finish with. Great, so the next 3 wines we're going to talk about are all Chardonnays, and you know, typically when people think white wine, they think Chardonnay, which is totally fine. Bogle is going to be the first one. So we have a Chardonnay is their varietal. Again, the vintage here is a 2013, and appellation is once again as well California. Now here they start out their fermentation process in stainless steel, and then they move into oak barrels just to kind of finish and get that end flavor that gives that little, whenever you hear Chardonnay, everyone talks buttery, maybe even a little bit vanilla, and that's what they're looking for in their fermentation process here with the Bogle Chardonnay. The next Chardonnay we're going to talk about is Sterling, which comes out of Napa, but their appellation, I'll even jump into, is Central Coast. So that means that they're specifically picking grapes and harvesting grapes to use for this wine on the Central Coast. Vintage here is 2013. And tasting notes are of white peach, fresh tropical fruits, orange blossoms, and then spicy vanilla oak. So again, they're kind of going at the very end on the finish of the wine for a little bit more depth of flavor. And then our last Chardonnay is the Chateau Saint-Michel. Here we're talking about a vintage once again of 2013, and the appellation here is Columbia Valley. So this wine actually is up north in Washington. Its tasting notes, and the winemaker really pushes down on the fact that he's going for he calls it a pineapple upside down cake. So a lot of tropical fruit here, and then butterscotch and creamy textures, he calls it. So finishing off his fermentation process once again in the barrel is giving it that texture and creamy vanilla kind of finish that he is looking for in his Chardonnay. The idea here is to know what's on our list, the very basic information that people are looking for from service staff. And next week we'll go ahead and talk about how these wines parallel into our menu that we have here at the restaurant. So anyways, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for checking in with us.